Good morning. Happy Saturday. Welcome back to the channel, James Rule XRP. What are we looking at here? I have a YouTube channel. I talk about drones. It's called Drone Flyers, Tips and Tutorials. I've been flying drones since 2011. I just bought a DJI Mini 5 Pro drone. It's awesome. I do tutorials. Check it out if you get a chance. Subscribe. I only have 227 subscribers. Check it out. Everybody wants to know about drones, the latest and greatest cool stuff. So check it out. So this morning, I created a Spaces on Twitter, and we talked about crypto, and we talked about family, and we talked about AI, and we talked about all kind of neat stuff. 184 people tuned in. Had a really good time. I did not record it, but every once in a while, if I get bored, I'll pop in I create a Spaces on X, and it's a forum where if you want to speak in the room, you hit the microphone, you come up, you speak, you ask questions, we talk, we converse, and all that good stuff. But we had a really good time. I had a good conversation for a couple of hours. So let's go ahead and get into it. Today's paid sponsor is Uphold. If you do not have an account with Uphold, you need to sign up for free below. They have staking rewards. They have over 300 cryptocurrencies. They have new tokens that you can get in early before anywhere else. And they are also 100% transparent. You can also get the Uphold debit card. Whenever you spend your crypto on or precious metals on that debit card at Uphold, you're going to get back XRP, up to 4% XRP back in your XRP wallet on Uphold. It is a win-win-win. So check out Uphold, sign up for a free account, and tell them James Rule XRP sent you by. All right, total crypto market is about 2.48 trillion. Bitcoin is hanging around 70,000. Ethereum's around 2,000. XRP's dropped back to about $1.39. Check it out. Check it out. Do your research. Learn what all these underlying blockchain technologies are. So Robbie Mitchnick is now head of digital assets at BlackRock. I'm going to read his bio real quick because he was involved with Ripple. It says Robert Mitchnick serves as the head of digital assets for BlackRock. He is a member of the COO executive team. Rob is responsible for driving BlackRock's digital asset strategy, including working with internal business units to develop and execute on strategic initiatives around digital assets. Prior to joining BlackRock, Robbie spent time at CPP Investment Board in public markets and private investment and at Ripple. During his time at Ripple, Robbie co-authored a fundamental valuation framework for crypto assets along with John Bates Clark, medal-winning Susan Athey. Robbie has a BA and BCOM degree at Queen's University and an MBA from Stanford, where he graduated as an R.J. Miller Scholar and the Robicheck Award winner in finance. He holds a blockchain technology certification from MIT Sloan and is a CFA chart holder. Why do I bring him up? Because he is the head of digital assets at BlackRock, the one and only BlackRock, and he says that interest in Bitcoin remains high despite the drop in price. Robert Mitchnick, head of digital assets at BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager company, made exclusive statements about the company's new staking-backed Ethereum ETF. Mitchnick stated, as this new product is the golden key for institutional investors. Wait until they get the XRP ETFs on board at BlackRock. Mitchnick, highlighting the fundamental differences between Bitcoin and Ethereum, stated that Bitcoin is positioned as digital gold as an alternative currency, while Ethereum is a technology-focused investment based on blockchain innovation. He noted that ETHB offers investors the opportunity to share not only in price increases, but also the economic functioning of the network, which is staking. Mitchnick noting, that the launch of Bitcoin ETFs, which is iBits, has provided a great convenience for investors. Said that an Ethereum ETF was adding staking features, becoming a clear solution that allows investors to access Ethereum in the easiest and most cost-effective way. He mentions nothing about XRP here, but I guarantee you that BlackRock is eyeballing the XRP ETFs at the moment. Ashish Burla with Evernorth at Evernorth XRP states that XRP transactions are nearing 3 million per day as of this week, up from 1 million per day in mid-2025, nearly triple. Price moves attract attention. Activity shows where adoption is growing as more financial assets move on chain. Learn more here. And this is from last October. Evernorth's press release to go public with over $1 billion in gross proceeds. And what Evernorth does is they have XRP as their primary treasury. XRP as their primary treasury, people. Crypto is plugging into Wall Street's plumbing. From Broadridge's NY Fix integration to Japan's FSA reclassification, infrastructure and regulation enabling institution crypto adoption is already operational. So many of you out there are going, okay, this is crypto. Yes, they might be using it in the banks. They might be using it to tokenize things. The DTCC has trillions and quadrillions. Big deal. What's the big deal? Tokenization. Well, it is a big deal. The bigger piece of the puzzle, Broadridge NYFix sits within a clear and accelerating pattern. In April 2025, Ripple acquired prime broker Hidden Road for $1.25 billion, making it the first crypto company to own and operate a global multi-asset prime broker, clearing $3 trillion annually and serving more than 300 institutional clients. That's not a crypto firm buying another crypto firm. That's crypto buying the pipes Wall Street runs on, people. Do you hear that? Kraken launches an institutional prime brokerage offering in mid-2025, providing access to liquidity to more than 20 global venues. Commodity Future Trading Commission, CFTC regulated derivatives exchange and clearinghouse, Bitnomial, launches a new U.S. clearinghouse for derivatives markets or crypto derivatives, accepting digital asset collateral as margin for the first time, meaning institutions can post cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin or Ethereum without converting cash. BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF IBIT became the fastest growing in the history. Public pension funds in Michigan and Wisconsin now list the digital assets among long horizon holdings. So there's so many things going on in the world of crypto. XRP ETFs, Bitcoin ETFs, ETH ETFs, tokenization. All these 401k providers in the United States are going to be incorporating crypto ETFs into your 401ks, cryptocurrency into your 401ks. Hint, hint, hint. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. All right. In case you missed it, Chairman Representative French Hill joined Liz Clayman on Fox Business to discuss the latest on the Clarity Act. 2.5 minutes. Have a listen right here.
The U.S. banking industry has effectively lobbied to halt the crypto industry's market structure bill. They don't like the part of the Clarity Act that provides too much freedom to the crypto companies and still holds banks to much tighter regulation. Where does this stand, Congressman?
Well, in the House last July, we passed the Genius Act that created the first U.S. dollar-backed payment stablecoin, and we passed the Clarity Act in the House with 78 Democratic votes. In both instances, on a bipartisan basis, we said that stablecoins should not pay yield. That it's just a payment device to be used on a blockchain.
Right.
And we also outlined in the Genius Act that both bank and non-bank issuers of a dollar-backed stablecoin would be treated the same way on sales practices, capital, supervision. So in my view, this can be resolved in the Clarity Act, and I hope soon. My recommendation is that all these issues around paying yield or connecting rewards by either a bank or a non-bank issuer should be dealt with in the regulatory proposal that Treasury has to come up with to implement the Genius Act. I think it's best resolved there, but I think it could be emphasized in the debate in the Senate's consideration of clarity, where they lay that out in statute, that we want equal treatment between bank and non-bank issuers of stable coins and how the sales practices are used by both sides. I think we can find a way to do that.
JP Morgan CEO Jamie Dimon, who was reportedly pretty annoyed and didn't like the Clarity Act because he said, how is this fair that we banks have to be held to such tight regulations? And then, you've got the crypto companies that get the same opportunities, but they don't have to be regulated. He says there's an opportunity for compromise, and I'm wondering if you agree. He said rewards on stablecoin transactions would be something that would mark a compromise versus just idle yield being handed out.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, in my judgment, that could be handled through the rulemaking that's being considered by the U.S. Treasury Department to implement the Genius Act. But in the Senate's consideration of clarity, they could outline that in statute. And I think that's, that's headed in the right direction towards a compromise. Because my view, on a bicameral, bipartisan basis for several years now, and certainly the last several months, we've said that all issuers should be treated the same way. So you don't want to have an imbalance between people using a dollar-backed stablecoin on their platform if they're a bank versus a non-bank, in my view, my personal.
So, Representative French Hill has always been pro-crypto. And now that the banks are arguing that stablecoin yield given on centralized exchanges are not fair to the banks, you could tell, and I'm just getting it out there, that Representative French Hill, all of the Republicans, all the Dems are being paid off by the big banks. I mean, without a doubt, just those comments he said there, and they've always been, all of the United States Congress senators, all that have always been paid off by the banks because it's a big lobby. And the banks are still making a killing on you and me and well, not me, because I don't keep that much cash in the bank. I'll tell you right now, I keep very little cash in the bank. I don't care if I piss them off or not. Most everything I have is in digital assets. I am staking stable coins on different exchanges. They could all kiss my ass. If I can make 3 to 8% on an exchange versus 0.1 or 0.2% at my bank, you'd be stupid not to stake or make yield on your stable coin. So the banks are making money off of our money. The banks are arguing about stable coins. It's a big shit show. The Clarity Act needs to happen. They said everybody's not going to be happy. Well, the banks aren't going to be happy, but you know what? Y'all need to suck it up, buttercups. Suck it up, buttercup. It's going to happen. We're going to be all right. Be sure to subscribe to the James Rule Crypto Show, share, like, and all that good stuff. And also subscribe to my new drone flyers, tips, and tutorials if you want to learn about drones, if you want to learn about photography, if you want to learn about all that good stuff. So have a good day. Be safe. Do the right thing this weekend. And don't forget, I told you so.